Hello, Learning Blocks fans. I'm Miguel Sanchez, and welcome to another edition of the World of Blocks. We're so glad you're here. Anyways, this is the final video of the World of Blocks before we head to Gatlinburg tomorrow. What? So, yeah, I'm so glad you're here. Anyways, if you haven't caught up with our last episode, which is on World of Blocks Chapter 1, Color of the Rainbow, check it out on the top right corner of your screen, so make sure you go check it out. But with that being said, let's get right into the episode, shall we? In this episode, we are doing Queen of the Blocks Chapter 2, Music to My Ears. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to Music Land in this episode, yeah! So I hope you're ready for this. As always, credit goes out to Infinite Insanity Pit over on his CDR page. He was the one who made all of this happen, so thank you, Infinite Insanity Pit, for the creation of the series. You want to go check it out? Link to his channel, link to his page in the description below, so let's go check it out. One final thing you need to know. Warning, Learning Blocks is the property of Blue Suit Animation Studios, Alpha Blocks Limited, and the BBC. Of course, it is the British Broadcasting Corporation. No copyright infringement is intended. I own nothing. You have been warned. So yes, without further ado, sit back. Now, enjoy the story, everybody. The World of Blocks, Queen of the Blocks, Chapter 2, Music to My Ears. The next day, Infinity announced that the next land was Music Land, where musical notes lived as music blocks. 5, 6, and 20, who all love music, volunteered to go with Iris and 21 this time, with B and D also be eager to join the quest. The musicians were all super excited to be the notes they love to play. Maybe they could even jam out together. Music Land lived up to its name. The trees had musical notes hanging off of them like fruit. There seemed to be musical instruments growing out of the ground, and there were several paths that resembled piano keys. 20 stepped onto one of these paths and found that they were actually made up of piano keys. He made music as he danced on the keys, with the others joining in. Their fun was interrupted when Iris noticed something. She pointed out one of the instruments growing in the ground, a tuba, as it wriggled out of the ground and started hopping around with a face. Fascinating! Exclaimed Vi. Have you Alpha Blocks ever seen living objects? Yeah, we made a few, answered B. I remember helping to create a talking book. She looked back on that night, fondly, remembering how fun it was to change up the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Just then, the group heard someone singing. They turned toward the source of the sound and saw a pink block singing into a darker pink microphone. All right, let's approach her as non-threateningly as possible, Iris instructed. As the group got closer, they got a better look at the music block. Her cheeks had magenta stars on them, and she resembled an alpha block, except in her glass case there was a magenta musical note that sat below 5 horizontal lines. She paused her singing when she noticed the newcomers approaching. Huh? Who are you guys? Her microphone suddenly revealed eyes and a mouth, which made a curious expression. My name is Iris, and we're here to meet you and the other music blocks. I've never seen any blocks like you before, said the music blocks. Her microphone piped up. Are you supposed to be letters and numbers? She knows they're alpha links and number links. Yes, confirmed Iris. And you music blocks are musical notes, correct? Of course we are. The music block twirled up a bit. Twirled around a bit. I'm Doe, and this is Mika. She held up her microphone, who gave a cheerful smile. Cool. I've never met a living microphone before, marveled 16. There's lots of living instruments around here, replied Mika. The group remembered the tuba they've seen coming out of the ground. Do they grow out of the ground? Asked 5. Yes, confirmed Doe. It's weird, but we don't question it. So you want to meet the other music blocks, huh? Come on, Ray's probably at Hard Rock Canyon. Does he have a living instrument too? Asked D. We all do, asked Doe. Answered Doe. You're gonna love our friends. I'm guessing that you first came here by falling from the sky, said Iris. How did you do that? How did you know that? Asked a surprised Doe. These blocks seem to have a habit of doing that. Hard Rock Canyon was between 2 lightning bolt-shaped rocks. A river ran through the canyon, and sitting on a rock next to it was a red music block with black lightning bolts on his cheeks. He was rocking out on a dark red guitar, which was the same color as his music link. As Doe had informed the others that the notes in the music block's glass cases were called. Doe approached him, trying to get his attention. He finally stopped playing when he saw who she was with. "Hey, Doe! Who are these blocks?" he asked. Numbers and letters," answered Doe. Turns out us musical notes aren't the only ones in Block 4. Whoa! The music block and his guitar said this at the exact same time. Then the red block stood up. "The name's Ray!" He held out his guitar. "And this is my buddy Gary." "A living guitar," Bee breathed. "Beautiful." She pulled out her own bass guitar. "I've got a bass!" "It's not live, though." Gary seemed interested in this guitar, despite the fact that it was completely inanimate. "What a nice-looking bass," he whispered dreamily. Doe giggled a bit. "Hey, why don't we tell these folks about how we first came to Musicland and met our instruments? That's a dynamite idea." Ray agreed before playing a short riff on Gary. "You should go first, since you were the first one here after all." Right, Doe cleared her throat. "Once upon a time, a pink block fell from the sky. And this pink block was me, Doe, the first of the music blocks. But she had nobody to talk to until a little microphone dug its way out of the ground and bounced up to her. 'That's me!' exclaimed Mika. 'We instantly became best friends forever.' Then I came down," interjected Ray. "After becoming friends with Doe and Mika, I decided that I wanted my own instrument. Then he met me, and the rest is rock history," Gary finished. "Delightful story," said Dee. "Now where's the next music block?" Bee's probably a classical garden," said Ray. "She's always practicing by herself. Come on, let's go surprise her." XXX. Classical garden was a field of flowers, all of them a different shade of blue. Standing in the middle of the field was a sky blue music block, playing an azure violin. She had an azure music link and musical notes on her cheeks, with there being a treble clef on her left cheek and an eighth note on her right. She gave out a huff of displeasure when she heard footsteps approaching. Why didn't anyone ever respect her private time? Her annoyance turned to curiosity when she saw the blocks who were following Doe and Ray. "Normally, I'd be annoyed by you disrupting our private practice, but who are those?" She pointed at the newcomers with her violin's bow. "Hubby, these are just number blocks and alpha blocks," Rad said casually. Me's eyes widened. "So, numbers and letters are a lot like us," as Mead spoke. Her violin opened its eyes to get a good look at the strange new blocks. "Yes," replied Iris. "We're looking to bring all the blocks of this world together." That sounds interesting," Mee mused. Her violin suddenly gave an ahem to get everyone's attention. "I'm Vicky. You better not step foot on any of those flowers, because I have a bow and I'm not afraid to use it." The bow wriggled out of Mee's grasp and waved around in the air threateningly. Doe, Ray, and their instruments couldn't help but laugh at this, earning each of them a whack with the bow. "Told you," Vicky said smugly. "So, I'm guessing you fell into the Musicland too," Five told me. "That is correct," confirmed me. "And I met Vicky shortly afterwards. I'm so glad we have the same refined taste in classical music." Getting tired of me studious, 16 suddenly spoke up. "So where's the next music block?" "At Techno Labs," me answered. "She's probably either working on some new gadget or blasting that techno music of hers." "Then what are we waiting for?" exclaimed 21. "Let's go!" XXX. The music blocks led the way to a bright green building with the word Techno Labs emblazoned above the doorway. Inside was a certifiable treasure trove of machinery, with gadgets and gizmos displayed everywhere. A light green music block was tinkering with some unidentifiable gadget. Her music link was a chartreuse, and on her right wrist was a dark green bracelet with a chartreuse button. What stood out above her the most were her eyes. They were black with a bright chartreuse square-shaped pupils. A dark green DJ stand watched her work, then looked up to see who'd entered the building. "Hey, Yay! New number blocks! The DJ stand exclaimed, causing the light green music block to pause what she was doing and look towards the entrance to her laboratory. What kind of blocks are these? She asked in curiosity, getting her out of her seat and walking over to the group. After her explanation, she was thrilled. Fascinating! Living letters and numbers aren't something I ever considered. My name is Fa, and this is DJ. She patted the DJ stand. This is where I conduct my experiments and build new technology. The blocks looked around, very interested in everything on display and wondering what each of the devices did. Do you want to see my proudest creation? Fa asked, and the others eagerly nodded. Fa pressed a button on her bracelet, causing herself to become covered in a dark green metal armor. The armor had a black visor that showed two chartreuse square pupils, and below the visor was a blue screen with a light blue line running through it. The line zigzagged as Fa spoke. I am Iron Block! Everyone was wowed as Fa used the rockets in the feet of her armor to fly around the room. Then landing with a cool pose. She pressed the button on her bracelet again, and the armor receded. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, 16 gushed. We have superheroes too. Really? I'd love to meet them. Fa wondered if they actually have superpowers. She was very proud of herself for achieving superheroism by her own merits instead of having powers out of the gates. So she really couldn't be impressed by anyone who'd been born with superpowers or gotten them by accident. B&T reached out to touch some gadgets, but Fa grabbed their arms. I'm sorry, but nobody is allowed to touch anything without my permission. Bummer. Well, can we go meet the next music block now? Asked B. Of course, Doe replied cheerfully. To Country Farm. XXX. Iris had visited a farm once in her childhood, but she'd never seen any animals like the ones here, for these animals had the attributes of musical instruments. They were birds, ducks, and geese with flutes, oboes, and trumpets for beaks, a cat with a clarinet tail, pig with French horntails, and more. Leaning against a fence was an orange block with yellow freckles. He was wearing a red bandana, and on the top of his glass case was a yellow hat with a red band. His music link was a darker shade of orange than his body, and strummed a yellow and red banjo. Iris gave a small shriek as a scorpion with a gramophone's sound horn at the end of its tail scurried past. This caught the music block's attention, and he stood up straight upon seeing the unfamiliar blocks. Howdy! He greeted with a southern accent. I'm Soul, and this is Buck. Soul's banjo showed its face and grinned. Who are you folks? I'm Iris, and these are album blocks and number blocks. Buck spoke up. Well, I'll be living letters and numbers. So it ain't just us musical notes, said the delightful Soul. Yeehaw! What rotten news! Your farm is very interesting, said 20, staring at a turtle with a drum for a shell. Yep, it's where I raise animal instrument hybrids. Soul patted the turtle's drum shell, making it produce some beats. Just then, 5 spotted some colorful spherical creatures that looked a lot like number blobs back in Numberland. Only these were shaped like musical notes. Hey, what are those? She asked, pointing with her gloved hand. Those are tap tones, Fa explained. A chartreuse one hopped up to her. They like to sing with us. Well, that definitely sounds like the number blobs, 20 whispered to 5 and 16. Some more tones hopped up, each of them going to the music block whose music link they share their color with. Doe let out a few notes, and her tattoo copied them perfectly. It was a cute scene, but the blocks saw that there were light violet and gray tattoos without anyone to go to. They reminded the group that there were 2 music blocks they hadn't met yet. Let me guess. La is the next music block to meet, said 5, having realized the pattern with these blocks. That's right, confirmed Soul. Let's go meet her right now. XXX. The next stop was Jazz Lake. Lavender sat around the shore, swayed in the breeze, and standing among the flowers was a dark purple music block with black sunglasses and a light violet music lane. The saxophone she was playing on was light violet as well. She heard a rustling in the lavenders and turned to see Doe peeking through at her. "Hello," the purple block greeted her, not minding too much that her playing session had been interrupted. "Why did you come here?" "I've got a huge surprise to show you, Law," replied Doe, making Law curious. She took the jazz playing music block by the arm and pulled her into the open. Law gasped when she saw the newcomers to Musicland. "Alpha blocks and number blocks," Doe stated before Law could ask who they were. "Letters and numbers. There's more than just us musical notes. Yada yada." Wow. The normally calm Law was astonished. "This is not something I was anticipating." Law's saxophone finally said something. "Well, hello there. Hello there," he spoke in a flirty voice. "I am Sammy, and this is Law." His charm was turned up to 100%, despite him being a saxophone. It seems like there's only one other number block left to meet," said Vi. "To Hip Hop Skate Park!" Doe shouted in excitement. Six. Hip Hop Skate Park was a lot like the skate park back in skate park in Neverland. Skating on one of the many ramps was the final music block. He was a silver color with a red helmet and a necklace with a golden dollar sign hanging off of it. His music link was a darker shade of gray, and unlike the other music links, it was upside down. A silvery gray boombox was watching him. Finally, the silver music block stopped and switched out his helmet for a red baseball cap, which he put on backwards. "Wasn't that sick?" he asked the boombox. "Totally," the boombox replied. Then he spotted the other blocks. "Whoa, dude, who are those?" The music block turned to see who was coming. "Whoa!" He hopped down to greet them. "Hey, dudes, I'm T. Who are those?" After the final round of introductions, T's mind was blown. "Didn't think letters and numbers could be your blocks too. Awesome! Heads up!" the boombox called before leaping off the platform. He was on. T caught him in one swift motion, then set him down. "I'm Boomer!" Then T did something unexpected. He split himself into two, taking a look at the group from both sides. "You guys look pretty cool," the second T complained. "You alpha blocks even look like us music blocks," the first T noted. "Hold on! You guys can all split apart?" asked B. "Yes, we can!" Ray split into 3 music blocks. It's how we're able to create so many different melodies." "Alpha blocks can do that too," said D, and he and B both demonstrated by splitting themselves into 2. "Wickedly cool! Wicked cool!" exclaimed T, before he and Ray fused themselves back together. I'm guessing that your specialty is filling words," B said matter-of-factly. "You're right, buddy," replied B as she and her brother fused back with their clones. Me was assured she liked being called Buddy. So that's all the core music blocks?" Iris was aware that offshoots existed, but for now they focused on being the cores of each group. The cores were the representations of what they represented, after all. "Yes, all 7 of us," Fall confirmed. "What do we do now?" Let's have a celebration at Party Pop Palace," Doe suggested. "We need to properly welcome our newest friends after all." "Yes," shouted 16. "I love parties." "Then what are we waiting for?" exclaimed Doe. "Come on, you've had to C sharp or you'll B flat." "Hey," said B, slightly offended. "Sorry." XXX. Party Pop Palace was as bright pink as Doe was, and inside was a huge dance floor with a stage for a band to play. Doe took to the stage, singing a poppy tune and allowing 5, B, and D to join in with their own instruments. The other blocks danced to the music, except for Iris. She considered herself as someone with no dancing ability. 20 took notice of this and frowned. "Iris, you're not dancing." "I can't dance. Don't be silly. I'll guide you." 20 gently took Iris's arms, swaying to the rhythm. It was hard at first for Iris to keep up with his movements, but she soon got the hang of it and ended up having a great time. The blocks danced away, and soon the sun was setting, and it was time to go home. "Come back again soon," said Do. "I'd love to meet those other superheroes," added Fa. "We're gonna bring all the blocks together," Bee exclaimed. "We could throw a huge party for everyone," suggested 16. As Iris and her group left, she couldn't help but think of how much she enjoyed dancing with 20. She blushed while thinking of his arms wrapped around hers, but he was just a friend. She was still a human at heart. Why would she have feelings for a number? She shook these thoughts from her head as she led the way back to Neverland, already wondering what land she'd visit tomorrow. To be continued, and that's it. It's over. Chapter 2 is finito, complete. It is over. Yeah. Thanks for coming on by, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 2, and thank you so much for watching this edition of the World of Blocks. Don't forget, the Nashville channel is coming up, is already up right now. You want to go check it out? Day 12 of the Nashville Joint is on the top right corner of the screen. And don't forget, episode 99 of Saving Kingdom Origins is already out right now, so make sure you go check it out. The link to that is also on the top right corner of your screen. But yes, it is over. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been you guys such as you, and I will see you all on the next installment of The World of Blocks. Next time, The World of Blocks continues with We in the Blocks Chapter 3, Chemical Mischief, as we head to Chemland to meet the Chemblocks. Oh my gosh. Science! We'll see you guys there. For anyone here inside the World of Blocks, I am Miguel Sanchez, reminding you to please leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also turn on notifications to never miss a new video. That's right, you gotta subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on to never miss another new video from me, as we're on the road to 200 subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out, guys. Bye for now. Laters.